Hi, I'm Phil Seymour. I teach English at Chicago Christian High School in Palos Heights, Illinois. I became interested in becoming a principal this year. Like a number of you have said, some of that has been because I've experienced good principals and not so good principals, and I've realized the impact that a principal has on the students and the faculty. But it's also come through refining what I really enjoy about myself and what I really enjoy about what I'm doing and my job. When I was in high school, I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but I thought I wanted to be an art teacher. I just liked experiencing others' expressions and expressing things myself through art. But when I went to college, I changed majors to become an English major and a German major because I fell in love with reading and I realized that I was more talented with words than I was with visual arts. So I became an English teacher because of my love for reading great literature. But now, in my 12 years teaching, I have realized that the greatest asset for my students is my skill in teaching writing. So I've kind of refined from art to English, from reading to writing, and now this year I've kind of refined from teaching writing in my classroom to really looking school wide and creating a culture that is intensely focused on student learning. So that's kind of my progression to how I came to this point and entering this program. Along the way, I graduated from Calvin College, and in the meantime, I did get a master's degree in English composition at Purdue and taught an English class on the college level there. But the bulk of my career has been at Chicago Christian High School. I've had a few supervisory responsibilities there. The biggest one is probably being a team leader. I've been a team leader for the last 4 or 5 years, and in that role, I have to help make curricular decisions, but I also try to provide encouragement and some professional development and focus for the English team. Some of the things that I've really been trying to do is focus on the process of writing, um, making sure that we are doing close reading and cold reading assessments. So every English exam has a close reading, cold reading section on it, and also pushing my team to go to standards-based grading. I use standards-based grading in all of my classes. In addition to that, I've been a mentor teacher. We've had 2 new English hires since I've been team leader. So I was involved in the interviewing process. Then I also did informal observations and just did some coaching, weekly meetings for the first semester to make sure that our new teachers were supported well. I used to coach soccer, but I've put my focus more on academic and other things, so I haven't been coaching for the past 6 years, 5 years, and I now do an ACT prep class, and I'm kind of the building guru for the reading and the English sections of the ACT. I also have taken over responsibility of the senior retreat, where I actually supervise 4 or 5 male students and 4 or 5 female students in leadership roles for that, and also chaperones, 8 chaperones, their responsibilities in small group studies and um, other things like that. For school-wide initiatives, I have been the person who is spearheading our school's transition to using Turnitin.com for writing assignments to formalize things and keep things consistent. And next year, I'm going to be in charge of professional development for using signs and signposts to have a school-wide reading initiative. My experience with supervision has been kind of varied for the 12 years that I've been in education. My first school was the International Christian School of Vienna in Vienna, Austria. I taught there for 3 years. It was my first job, and many people who were teaching there, it was their first jobs. There's a really high rate of turnover. I would say the average is probably 2 or 3 years. And I was observed just once a year for my first 2 years, and I don't think I was observed in all my third year. Um, I really think that supervision or observations at that school were primarily done to keep our accreditation. I think that the lack of experience school-wide kind of caused that to just be a motion that we went through rather than in increasing our focus or our craft or anything like that. At Chicago Christian, I've worked under 3 different principals, and the uh, observation styles have been completely different. The first principal never observed me for a full period, but he came in unexpectedly for 5 to 10 minute walkthroughs very, very often. At the end of the year, then I got a rubric with descriptors circled without much specific feedback, so it was a little hard for me to really improve based on those observations because the feedback that I got was all at the end of the year, and it was not really in the administrator's words, but just circles on a rubric. My second principal would do 2 full period observations during my review years, which is it was the first 2 years at the school, and then every third year after that. But he was also in my room unexpectedly for 5 or 10 minutes very, very often. He would come in by himself. He would come in with prospective parents and students. And I would often get just a little bit of feedback on those unexpected visits, just kind of what he saw me doing or what he liked, and any ideas he had for improving things. But then I also got the full formal rubric evaluation at the end of the year during my review years. Now my third principal has come in this year for 1 full period observation that was unexpected and for 1 full period observation that was scheduled. I haven't received any feedback from that. It was in February, so I'm not sure. The school year's ended. I don't know whether I will get a rubric or not, but my preference was to have an administrator in my room a lot and to get specific feedback. I like working on my craft, and I like to know what other people think. I like to get ideas. I really thrive in that kind of environment. So I'm excited to be in this class. I'm excited to be in this program and to learn from all of you and to learn together about how we can create the right kind of relationships with our future teachers as principals, and how we really can use evaluation and observation to improve schools.